Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live. Today is Monday, June 29th, 2020. My favorite hour of the day, the last hour of the day, that's where I like to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions. At the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions. They become active. They start moving the price control away from the day traders and algorithms. I consider them smart money, and I like to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions based upon what they are doing. So thank you all for coming today. I do appreciate it. I hope everybody had a good weekend, had some fun, and was safe. I always look forward to seeing everyone here. I think I'm very grateful for this group. We have some great input, great poems, and it's just a good little community. So thank you all for coming here, spending your time. All right, well, interesting day today. The Dow is up 448, it's moving too quick, 440 points, up 1.75%. NASDAQ is only up 52 points, up 0.5%, and the S&P is up 26 points, up 0.87%. Oh, and the IWM up 2.5%. So it looks like IWM is the clear winner of all of them today. So anyway, let's see. Kamal is here. Hey, buddy, good to see you. Good chatting with you earlier. Kamal and I have been working on a couple things through the day, and so appreciate your help, Kamal, on that. Hey, Steve Burns, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well, sir. Hope you're having a good weekend. Hope you, Holly, and the dogs are all doing well. And thank you so much for coming. It's always great to see you, Steve. Always an honor and a privilege to have you here. Bob is here. Hey, Bob, good to see you. Appreciate you coming. Scatty13. Hey, Scatty, good to see you. Hello, Greg and all. Hello. David is here. Hi, Greg and fellow traders. Hello, David. Good to see you. And it was good doing our first lesson. I hope you learned something good in that first lesson. It was nice meeting your daughter. That was sweet of her. And Karen is here. Hi, Karen. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well, ma'am. Dirk is here. Dirk is here. Hello, all. Greetings from Belgium. Hello. Thank you for coming. Hope you're having a good evening. Kamal says, I got out of pets with a 5% stop. Bought Ultra 191.5 and Twitter 296. 2960 earlier this morning. That's right. And I am going to go over those, although I didn't get your Twitter in. So let me do that. Where is Twitter? No. There we go. Let's see, where did you get in there? 2960. Oh, the market's really selling off here. 2960. Okay. Gotcha, Kamal. Got it in there. And I do have the Ultra one for sure. All right. Dan is here. Hi, Dan. Hi, Greg and group. Hi, hey, Dan. Good to see you. Gary. Hey, Gary. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. Frank is here. Hello, Greg and group. Hello, Frank. Thanks for coming. Marco. Hey, Marco. That's our friends from Slovenia. Hope you're having a good evening. Thanks so much for coming. Quad Racer is here. Hey, Quad. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Kamal says, sorry, Twitter was 2926. All right. Well, that's better than 2960. Okay. Okay. So listen, this is the plan for today. First, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I manage them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have a few day trades today. I will show you those as well. After that, we're going to go through the board. We're going to take a look at your current positions. We're going to see how they are doing. And after that, we're going to spend a few minutes on trader psychology, trader philosophy, always an important part of the show, in my opinion. Really, making money in this game has to do with coming up with a good, decent trading plan based upon support and resistance. But after that, it's all up to you, all in between your ears on whether you follow the plan. So I like to talk about that each day. Hopefully that will help you. I know it helps me. I have gone down through my watch list, and I've gone down, and Kamal was kind enough to send his scan results over, and quite a few potentials today. You know, when I look to enter a trade, I have 3 requirements. First requirement needs to have a confluence or combination of indicators on at least one time frame, but ideally on multiple time frames. I look at each indicator as a group of buyers. You're going to put yourself in the position to have the best position to have a positive trade if you are in the company with as many other buyers as possible. And that's what's nice about Kamal's scanner. It really just rates that, how many indicators are lining up on multiple time frames. It's fantastic. I just want to say thank you to Kamal for that. Now, that being said, it's just scores. It doesn't mean it's going to be a profitable trade. We have to be just as careful with any trade. I don't care what symbol it is and how many points it has racked up, right? So always keep that in mind. It's just a filtering system. Requirement number 2, want to make sure I have a good risk to reward based upon valid support below me, realistic resistance above me. I want to be able to make at least 2 times what I'm risking. Number 3, please keep in mind your correlation. Do not have too many stocks in the same industry. And I might add, it's a good time to add here, I don't like to take too many new positions all on the same day. I prefer to stagger them. Ideally 1, maybe 2, right? But you know, most stocks go up and down together, a large majority, I think 75% of them. So you know, if you take 3 positions today and we get whipsawed to the downside, well, and you get hit 3 times as hard. So I prefer to, you know, take 1 trade a day, possibly 2 if they're really diversified. So we're going to go through what I identified and what's on Kamal's list. We're going to go through that. There's a lot of them, so we're going to have to go through them carefully, and I'm going to have to make a decision at the end of the day which ones I'm going to buy, if any. Then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions, please let me know. If there's any stock symbols you'd like me to look at, please let me know. If there's a stock symbol that you like to get my opinion on before the market closes, feel free, put it in the chat, put a star by it, and I'll do my best to get to it before the close. And then if you have any updates on your positions that are up on the board, any additions or subtractions, if you could be kind enough to just please wait till the end of the day when the market's closed, the pressure's off, and I'm not up against the clock, and I will make sure I get them correct. Right? When I do them during the day, I always seem to mess them up. So anyway, that's a plan for today, everybody. So if you could be so kind to hang tight, I'll be back in about 40 seconds after the disclaimer. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, Miko25 is here. Hey, Miko, good to see you. All right, well, let's get to it, shall we? Let's take a look over here. Going to start out with gold. I did buy gold. I've had this trade for a while. It looks like Gary M has this also. I bought gold here on 610 when we had a 5 EMA crossing over the 20. I bought half of my position here. I bought half of my position the next day when it backfilled. I'm in at 162.78. The 5 has stayed above the 20. So that keeps me in the trade. It's moved up nicely. Had a nice move down and reversal back up on Friday. And today it is down 2 cents. So anyway, so far, really good trade. Happy with that for sure. It has moved more than 1 ATR for my entry. So if I do get a close below the previous day's low, I'm going to get out of half. SPY. All right. Real quick, in case we have some new viewers, I do want to explain why I do buy the SPY every day. I buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk and I sell it the first thing the next morning. This is from a back test from Lizanne Saunders at Bespoke Invest on Twitter, and they tested two approaches here every day since 1993. Approach number one, buy SPY at the open, hold it through the day, sell it at the close. If you use this approach every day since 1993 to return a negative 13.9% return. However, if you do the opposite, which is what I do, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk, sell first thing the next morning, you would have returned 634.2%. So big difference, and that's why I use this approach. The blue line is the buy in the afternoon, sell the next morning. You can see over time all it's done is gone up. There's ups and downs in between, just like with any trading approach. Past performance, no guarantee future results, right? This may never work another day in the history of the world, but to date it has worked well. Not straight up and down, bucking Bronco, but over time it has gone up. The orange line's the buy in the morning, sell in the afternoon, has not done so well. So that is why I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I bought it, sorry, I have a couple trades in here, so it gets a little messy, but I did buy the overnight SPY trade at 305 cents. Sold it this morning at 301.41, so not too bad. Not too bad at all. I will buy this again at the close. CRUS, Kamal, Karen, and myself, we did buy this. Is that all we have? Yeah, Kamal, Karen, myself. We did buy this here at 57.73, under 30, over 30 RSI, V1, rejection of the third ATR channel, bought it here, 57.73. Moved up yesterday, Friday. Believe we hit one profit target, and then no profit targets today yet, but it is up 1.52%. So with any luck, it maybe hit one profit target today. We'll see. Oil is up nicely. Let's see who's in oil. Karen and myself. It's up 3.44% today. I did buy this 2 weeks ago on the weekly when we had this higher low V1 on the weekly plus an under 30, over 30. Bought it at 28.25. It initially moved up and then back down, and it is up this week. Like I said, 3.44%, but I'm right about even. I'm up 1 penny on the trade. So my stop is closed below the washout bar the day that I took the trade, right about 26.80. So anyway, so far so good. All right, that's all that I have as far as regular positions go. I did have 3-day trades today, two winners and one loser. Here we go. This is on the 5-minute on the SPY. I remember I was on with Kamal when I took this trade, and I said, hey, I just got in. But here we go. One of my favorites, V1 and a false breakout to this downside over here. See the low over here? This is the low of the range. We went down, tested that lower range, came back up, closed inside it. Plus I had a V1 plus rejection of the -1 ATR channel. Bought it here at 299.51, and it just cranked up. It just went up, 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 up. I got out here when it rejected the 100-day moving average. So got in at 299.51, got out at 301.94. So not too bad. And then VIX. I had 2 trades on VIX. One good, one bad. I was on with Kamal when this happened. I did take VIX here when we had a higher low V2 into the value zone. Bought it at 36.53. Kind of went sideways, and then next bar just boom, reversed on me. It closed below halfway the washout bar. So I got in at 36.53 and I got out at 36.29 for a loss. And then I picked it up a second time when we went under 30, over 30. I bought it here at 35.99. Moved sideways, moved up a little bit, moved up, then sideways. and then it went up, went up. I had this V1, loss of the 50, got out here at 36.20. So I got in at 36.99 and I got out at 36.20 for 21 cents. So anyway, not too bad all in all between the three trades, the two winning and the one losing. So all right, there's that. Now, let's run on over and see how everybody else is doing. All right, Kamal. Kamal's had a really nice trade here on Upwork. Had a higher low V1. This came off his scanner here, 12.48. Let's see. A bunch of us took it. I remember I got out here when we had, or no, I got out half here and then half here. Kamal kept it. Doing really well, got in at 12.48 and it's at 14.41. Pets. All right, Frank, Kamal, and Gary did buy pets here with the higher low V2 at 37.06. I took this trade as well. I hit one profit target. I did get out the next day though because I didn't like the V1 to the downside and the false breakout of this previous range. So, which in this case, looks like it turned out to be a good move. We went down sideways, but today, holy smokes, it's down 9.18%. I know Kamal got out of this earlier. Okay, so that one's not looking good at all. Pinsky got into CAT here at 124.80 with this V1. It's 124.12 right now, so he's positive in the trade for a little bit, but it's sold off so far. Dog, cat and dog, that's hilarious. Frank did buy at 84.90, immediately went his way, then it kind of stalled out, and then it's gone down and down, and so a little underwater for Frank. Snap is another trade that Frank had, bought it back here on 5.29 at 18.75. Just has moved up beautifully, beautifully, beautifully. Is down a little bit today, but up about 22.79%. So fantastic trade, Frank. Glenn did buy CRM back here, 185.11. Initially moved up, rejected that third ATR channel, and then it's gone down from there. So a little underwater on that one. Alibaba. All right, a bunch of us took Alibaba. We had a nice return to value. We had sideways motion. We had a V1 and a crossover, bought at 206.69. I remember I got out right here. I was not in the trade very long. It did move up and up and up, but the last 3 days has been down. But still, Frank's still up on Baba. Dexcom. All right, Glenn had a beautiful trade on Dexcom at 375.16 back on June 16th. Moved up nicely. It's kind of rolled over back into the value zone, but it is up 2.93% today. TLT. Let's see, I believe this is Frank, right? Yeah, this is Frank on TLT. A bunch of us bought TLT back here, went under 30, over 30, rejected the 6 ATR channel. I bought it at 156.10, moved up nicely. I think I got out right here, if I recall, or no, I think I got out part there and another part there. Moved up. This was up, I believe, a little bit earlier, but it's right up against the third ATR channel, but still a nice trade for Frank. MDB, Kamal bought MDB with this V1 false breakout to the downside. Bought it at 201.70. It's moved up beautifully. Today down a little bit, down 2.69%. NTNX, Kamal. Oh, that's right. You did buy NTNX on Friday. False breakout to the downside and a V1. Bought it at 22.68, just slightly underwater. Glenn's had a really nice short trade on Norwegian Cruise Lines. Shorted it at 19.43, just gone down beautifully. It is up 7% today, but you know, this is a huge mover. AGQ. Kamal still has AGQ, and for some reason I don't have the entries on this. I apologize, Kamal. I think I accidentally deleted those. Glenn bought Newmont Mining at 58.10 on Friday. It's at 58.13, so he's up on that as well. And then Ultra. Kamal had a beautiful trade on Ultra intraday. Look at this. He bought it at 191.49. It's at 197.60, up 4%. So he got in earlier in the day when it went under 30, over 30. As soon as it went back over 30, that's when he entered the trade. And it is just a little off of its high, but pretty nice. I mean, under 30, over 30, V1. Closing over the third ATR channel. So that's a possibility for today. And then Twitter, Kamal did let us know that he bought Twitter today at 29.26. It's at 29.49. So, so far up, which is always good to see. Okay. Take a look here. Okay. Frank has a poem for us. Markets can be like playing with fire. Moves can be dire. Testing a trader's will and desire. Market so active and news so distractive. Rules to the rescue, a swimmer's flotation amidst the market's rotation. Wow, really good. Markets can be like playing with fire. Moves can be dire, testing a trader's will and desire. Market so active and news so distractive. Rules to the rescue, a swimmer's flotation amidst the market's rotation. Man, so good. How do you come up with those, Frank? I'm always so impressed. I mean, that's freaking awesome. I mean, just to make a poem is one thing, but to make it so on point with trading is another. It's just super impressive. Dirk says, what's your view on MU? Well, it has a bit of a higher low V1 here. It's still under 50. It's still under the 200. So, and it looks like earnings are today. Were they today or are they this afternoon? If they're this afternoon, me personally, I definitely wouldn't take a position. Sunil S. Hello, good to see you. First time watching your session. Had a question. When you say at the close, is this a specific time every day, anytime after 3:30? It's the close of the market, which is 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So I like to do the majority of my positions, the entries and exits, just right before the close of the U.S. stock market, which is 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. It's 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So it closes right there at 2 o'clock, 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So I like to make my buying and selling decisions just right then, right before the close. Gary says, I will be exiting pets today with a loss. Yes, definitely see that. So Dirk says, and what about ZYXI? ZYXI. Well, it's a false breakout to the downside from this low range here and a V1. It is above 50. Not too bad. I don't like the big red bar prior. Looks like it is larger than 1 ATR. But listen, it's definitely could be, it's not that bad of a trade. I don't think I would take it because of that big bar that we had on Friday. But it is a false breakout to the downside with the V1. KMX. Yeah, this is one of the ones on the scanner. False breakout to the downside, V1, rejection of the 200-day moving average. I certainly like this one better. At this point, though, it did reject the 50 RSI already, which is a little concerning. Steve says, a lot of my moving average signals have reset for future entries, but nothing today. Yes, I agree. Pets and Roku plunged today, nasty. Yep. MU has earnings today. Okay, so I definitely would not be getting involved with MU at this point. Let's take a look here. All right. So listen, everybody, before we go down through the potential candidates today, before we take a look at them, before we get the fine-tooth comb out and try to narrow them down to see if some of them qualify for me to take, if any, I do like to spend a few minutes on trader psychology. I think it's the most important part of trading. There's some really good Facebook and Twitter channels out there that spend a lot of time and energy and effort by posting good things for us to read each day. And these posts, although they might look simple, if you really just internalize them, they are worth their weight in gold. They really, really are. This is from our good friend Steve Burns at the New Traders, Rich Traders Facebook page. It's a great page on Facebook. Some real serious traders, some really good information. So come over and join us on if you're on Facebook at New Traders, Rich Traders. So let's see what Steve has to say. The trader is the weakest link in any trading system. Pretty simple, but boy, is that true, everybody. Listen, you can come up with the best trading plan in the world, right? You can just come up with you could have, I don't know, some of the best Paul Tudor Jones, Steve Burns, right? Could put together the most perfect trading plan for you that backtests well, that over time has an edge. But the trader, you, is the weakest link in any trading system, right? The trader is the weakest link in the chain. So if you spend a lot of time and energy working on trading, putting together approaches, don't blow it all by messing it up and messing with your approach. Just take your entries, get in when you're supposed to, get out when you're supposed to, either whether it's to the upside or to the downside. I can't remember. I think Richard Dennis, one of the market wizards, one of the turtle traders, he said something, I'm just paraphrasing, but he said something to the effect of, I would have made a couple $100 more million if I would have just had my 13-year-old son or daughter do the trades for me, right? But he got in there, messed with it like we all do sometimes, right? That's why I think in the most perfect world, the best trading team would be one that identifies the setups and a second person that that's in control of the entries and exits, right? I think it's the perfect combination. Some people are great and they can just do it themselves. You might be asking, why are you even saying that, Greg? Why is that a problem? It is a problem with a lot of people. So, don't put together a great trading plan and then degrade it by not following it. But Steve says the trader is the weakest link in any trading system. So true. Thanks, Steve, for that. Okay. Kamal says, Steve Burns, stop loss worked out well on pets. Evan says, brew. Okay. Let's take a look. It's not bad. It's not bad. I guess I wouldn't really say we have 2 days of sidewards motion here. MACD is negative. It's over 50 and a V1. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly's really moving sideways, so I would imagine this thing is going to move strong one way or the other. See what happened over here last time? Sideways, 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 plunge. Now we're sideways, 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 sideways again. Doesn't mean it's going to plunge. It could plunge, yes, and it could go skyrocketing up. So never sure which direction, but I do know eventually this thing is going to break out one way or the other. I mean, I like the V1 here. I like that we're over 50 for sure. Okay, so let me take a look, see over here. We're up 465 points at the moment. Steve says, good to keep those losses as small as possible, Kamal. Amen. Such great points, Greg. Most great technical analysts are not great traders. Yeah, that's true. I think the perfect combination is a really good technical analyst and a rule follower trader that has control of the keyboard. I think that's the perfect combo. All right. Evan says, thanks for looking, Greg. You're welcome, bud. You are certainly welcome. All right. Ooh, getting close to that profit target on Sirius. That would be nice. Get on up there, Sirius. You can do it. I have faith in you. Kamal says, Steve Burns, yeah, I've been just focusing on stop losses and taking them. Yeah, that's all you can do. Okay. Let's take a look. Like I said, these have qualified with different indicators lining up, confluence of indicators. Let's go through them. There's a bunch. I am definitely not going to take them all. So I want to spend some time here getting the fine-tooth comb out and just going through them. And let's take a look. First one on the board is MasterCard. Okay, we have a false breakout to the downside from this range back over here on the 15th. We rejected the 200-day moving average. We rejected the 50-day moving average, and we have a V1. I mean, this is generally a pretty good setup. I like that we did reject the 200-day moving average. It's up 0.78% today. I mean, not a ton. It's not up a ton today based upon the market. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly looks pretty good. We did bounce off the 1 ATR channel. We've come back down. We're moving sideways, and we do have a V1 on the weekly here as well. So that one's not too bad at all. The key would be, though, where is your stop loss going to be? If you wanted to give it a little bit more room, you could give it down to the 200. If you wanted to give it less room, close below halfway the washout bar. So MA is not bad. ULTA, okay, this is what Kamal has. Let's take a look on the weekly. On the weekly, rejected the -1 ATR channel. On the daily, under 30, over 30, V1, bullish engulfing bar, close above the -3rd ATR channel. It's pretty good too, I have to admit. KMX. Well, false breakout from this downside over here, plus a rejection of the 200-day moving average and a V1. Got stopped right at the -1 ATR channel. That is resistance above. Weekly, slightly back in the value zone. Looks like CarMax did reject the 50 RSI, however. Intraday, let me see. Yeah, it did. So that one I don't like as much because it rejected the 50 RSI and it rejected the -1 ATR channel. So I'm not going to give that one a brownie point. Momo. Don't know what Momo does. A little bit of a V1, not a great washout bar. Weekly, a little bit of a V1, but up against a really big down bar. Yeah, I don't think I like Momo either. IPWR. It's just generally too high for me up here. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, I don't like that one. BJK. We do have a V1. We did reject the 1 ATR channel. We still have the 50 above us. We still have the negative third ATR channel above us. Weekly is back in the value zone, but yeah, I think I'll pass on that one as well. ISRG. Okay, so we rejected the previous low over here. We have, we don't have a V1, but we do have a bounce off or rejection of the 200-day. On the weekly, we're nicely back in the value zone and holding. This big bar here concerns me. There was a lot of selling pressure on that bar, and here we're just kind of holding. I think I'm just going to let that one go as well. Okay, the SPY. Well, here, let me get rid of all this nonsense. All right, here's SPY. Now, SPY did reject the 50 EMA. It did reject the 200-day moving average, and it has a V1. Looks like it's rejected the 50 RSI already, however. Close. Close. It's right close to the 50 RSI, and it hasn't been able to move up against it. I think I'm just going to let this one go, mainly for the fact that I already am going to take the SPY overnight. If I could get a close under and a close back over, if we could reject the low over here, I think that would be even better. So I think I'm going to let that one go. Pins. Okay, so it's a V1, rejection of the 200, rejection of the 50, rejection of the negative 1 ATR. Tested that low, didn't reject it, but tested the low, 5208. It's fine, but again, this is just such deep, strong move down. I think I'm just going to let this one go. Facebook, V1 to the upside, but in front of huge, massive bar on Friday. It is a V1 and a close over the 50, but this one concerns me, so I'm just going to stay away from that. Love. So Love, we had a V1 with a rejection of the previous low back on the 25th. Looks like it held about halfway the bar. This one moved up nicely. It's at 53.25. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly, it looks like it is forming a V1, currently a higher low V1. That one's not too bad. BA. So look, BA, let me show you the back test here. And I am using this by permission, YouTube and Google. I am using this by permission from etfreeplay.com. Here's BA, the 520 EMA crossover. If we run the back test, you can see buy and hold returns 619%. The 520 crossover returned 569.7%, so pretty close in the return department. But look at the drawdown. The drawdown was much, much less using the approach. So 32.9% winning percentage. It has about a 3-to-1 win-to-loss ratio. So this one's not bad. I mean, it does backtest fairly well. It is above the 50 RSI. So we had the under 20, over 20. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly is forming a higher low V2. So definitely BA is potential for me. Costco. Looks like it's got very close to rejecting the 50 RSI. It is back above the 200, but this 200 has not acted, has not been respected. Look, we were over the 200, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. So this doesn't mean as much to me. If it had a V1 or something, it might be a little different, but I think I'm going to let that one go. UAA. Now, this one's a pretty decent false breakout to the downside and a V2 over 30 RSI, at least for now. So that one looks pretty good. And Lulu, also a false breakout to the downside with the nice V1. So let me, MasterCard Ultra, I'm going to get rid of KMX, going to get rid of Momo, going to get rid of this one, get rid of that one, ISRG, get rid of that one, SPY, I'm going to get rid of that one, Pins, Facebook, Love was okay. BA was okay. Costco, no. UAA and Lulu. Okay. Trevor Malmstrom, hey, sorry, Travis. Hi, Travis. Good to see you. Fastly. Yes, Fastly. He's been getting out of them fastly. Stevenson's excellent focus, Kamal. Keep losses small is one of the most important dynamics of profitable trading. That is for sure. Kamal says, thanks, Steve. Kamal says, Pan. P-A-N-W. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That's pretty good as well. We have a V1. Did we reject this low? Yes, we did. So we have a V1 false breakout to the downside on the daily. Weekly is pretty neutral here. Sideways motion. So this is going to break one way or the other. I don't like it's rejected the 10 and the 20 on the other side of that, but I do like that it's tested this -1 ATR channel 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and we went under 50, over 50. So yeah, not bad. I'd like it better if it could close up above there though. Mark Minervini always says a trade without stops is like driving a car without brakes. I saw that, Frank. I cut that out. I was going to talk about it on one of the shows. You're right. CCL. Yeah, it looks like a V1. Didn't wash out a whole lot. Bullish engulfing bar over the 50-day moving average. We have the green triangle, which means the previous day we had the high. Friday we went above and below, which is bearish, but returned right back around with bullish. That is, it's not bad. Weekly is kind of benign. I mean, it offers a good risk to reward. Well, maybe if the 50, depending on if it rejects the 50, but it's a clean stop here. because the 50 lines up right with the halfway. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It offers, but we are pretty close to the 50. That's the only thing. Bob says WDC. Well, we have a V1, but it's a very weak V1. We didn't wash out Friday's low very well. We did wash out this false. We did have a false breakout to the downside is good. Let's look at the weekly. It's okay, but it doesn't really jump out to me, Bob, as something that it doesn't jump out to me as something I would take. Travis says, what would you do with Fastly? I have a large position, but it's high and I'm worried about falling big like it did today. What's the symbol for Fastly? I'm happy to look at it, but I don't know the symbol. FSLY. Oof. Well, listen, we have some negative things here. I mean, we have a V2 to the downside. Here's bar 1, bar 2, bar 3. Friday went higher than Thursday. Today, we're below Thursday's close. That's a V1 to the downside. We also rejected the 6 ATR channel. It's very hard to get stocks to move above the 6 ATR channel. So the V2, the rejection of the 6 ATR channel concerns me, and also it's a false breakout to the downside from this high, right? So here we have this high, we went up to a new high, so it's a false breakout to the upside and a reversal back down. Now on the positive side, you're holding the 3rd ATR channel as support below you. It's holding the 70 RSI as support below. Yep, Gary just mentioned that. Gary, yeah, let's look at the weekly. The weekly is up here at 6 ATR channel. Okay, so listen, my honest opinion, I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, Travis. I'm just saying if it were me, if I was in this position, if I had this trade and had a nice, beautiful run up on it, I would, me personally, with this false breakout to the upside and the V2 to the downside, me personally, at the very least, I would take half. In the extreme, I would take it off, and if I wanted to be somewhere in the middle, I would sell half here because this is a red flag, and me personally, I'd get out with a close below the 70 on the second half. That's what I would do, but that's just my opinion. I'm not telling you what to do, but just me personally, that is what I would do. Okay. Now, choose wisely today, everybody. And that goes for me. That goes for Greg. That goes for everyone else. Choose wisely today. I want to point out, look, we've had a lot of volatility in the market. We've had some big down days with some strong volume. Not great technicals. Yes, we have a bounce today. Let's see, how much are we? We're up 442 points. Okay, good. But let's not get all caught up in the emotion of one big up day where last week we had a down week. It might continue go up. I mean, for me, I'll probably take a position or two here today, but let's choose wisely, right? Let's always try to put our emotions on the side and not try to chase and get FOMO, because honestly, the technicals do not look that good. All right. So just my opinion. MasterCard, false breakout to the downside. V1 to the upside. 46.29 RSI doesn't mean it can't go above the 50 RSI, but at this point, I just don't think the risk to reward makes sense. ULTA. Kind of hard to chase 4% move. Me personally, I think this bar is telling as far as moving up, but I think what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to see if we get a little pullback tomorrow. Maybe I can get it at a little cheaper price. That's my plan. Love. False breakout to the downside. I like that we've moved over the 5, the 10, the 20. I like we're above 50 RSI. I like that we've created a V2 here on the weekly. So that one, so far, I like the best. BA. Whew. I like the big bar here. I like the crossover. I like the close over the 100. It is over 50 RSI, which is good. There is a lot of volume. So I'm also going to put that one in the category. Under Armour has had this really sideways motion here. I like the under 50, over 50. I like the V2, the false breakout. I like that it's over 50 on the weekly. In the value zone, it's up 7%. It's a big mover. It did reject the 50 EMA over here. See the dotted line? That's the 50 EMA. Kamal, red, green, right? And I do kind of like Lululemon also. All right, let me check current positions before I get on to anything else. Gold is up a little. SPY, we had the nice overnight SPY trade. Ooh, getting very close to hitting that profit target on Cirrus. USO's up nicely. So everything looks okay with current positions. Boy, this is a tough one. Love has the V2. Hey, there was the Cirrus. Nice. Alrighty, one profit target. Sweet. Man, Boeing's up 13.92%. Kind of like Southwest. I like the higher low V2. And I like to move over all the moving averages and the 50 RSI. We're a little concerned about these moving averages right here, however. Travis says, awesome. I was thinking the same thing, holding on to a few. Yep, I think it'd be good. John Brown, can you explain what you mean by V1, V2? You know, John, in the description of this video, there's a link to my lessons on YouTube. They're totally free. There's a link down there called V1s and V2s. And if you could, just click on that link, and I have a whole lesson on what V1s and V2s are. As a matter of fact, here, let me paste this in. So it's a whole lesson. It's about an hour, and it will explain exactly what they are. Evan says up 13%. It's unusual. Yeah, I agree. It is concerning to me for sure. All right, I'm going to go with love. That is going to be my trade today. I'm going to go ahead and just buy it right now. All right. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of good potentials there, but all in all, that one just kind of made the most sense to me. We shall see. We shall see. All right, we have 1 minute to go. LVGO. Don't really see anything there, Travis. It's range bound up there. It's down today. I'd like to see it come back into the value zone at the very least before I look for a trade, but I don't see anything there whatsoever. Very nice trade, Kamal, on Ultra. All right, that's the end. Take a look here, see where I got filled on these guys. Okay. Okay. So listen, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. If you need any clarification on anything I discussed today, please let me know. Before I get to that, just want to do my quick little daily plug and let everybody know that I do offer private one-on-one coaching and teaching lessons in the evening time via Skype. I have been trading for 24 years. I've studied with some fantastic traders and mentors and coaches during that time. I've studied with them all one-on-one, including our friend Steve Burns and Dr. Alexander Elder and Kerry Lavorne and Larry Williams. So I have learned a lot from these gentlemen, and in my course, I teach you everything I've learned from all of these gentlemen, plus everything I've learned over the last 24 years. I think it's a really good course. I teach you everything I know. I don't teach you anything that I don't teach you here. The difference is it's one-on-one. You can ask questions. I'm very patient. I could go through as many times you ask me the question, I will give you the answer until you understand it. The course is 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours, so it's a total of 15 hours. One-on-one, long-form coaching and teaching. I've had really good success with my with my students, and I think you will have good success as well if you take the course. It is $1,000, but I think it is worth every penny. I think after the course, you will definitely have a good sense of trading in any market. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. You can contact me via email. My email's in the description of the video below, and you can also send me a message on Twitter at Gossett Trading on Twitter. And if you do reach out to me, I'll want to set up a Skype call with you. And the Skype call is just so we can get to know each other a little bit better. I want to ask you some questions about your trading, your challenges, your goals. It's a good time for you to ask me any questions about the course and what it entails. And I do want to mention it is not a sales call. You're not going to feel pressured. I promise you. I won't even ask you. I just want to talk to you, and then I'll say, look, if you're interested and you want to move forward, just email me tomorrow or in the future when you're ready. So I don't like to have that sales pressure. I'm sure you don't either, and so I don't do that. I just want to have a Skype call with you just to see if we're compatible and makes sense. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. I think you'll be glad that you did. And then if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could just take a half a second, hit that thumbs up button. It does help build the channel. And there's a lot of people out there that could really use some help with their trading, learning good trading principles. And I think if we got them here, that they would do just that. So, all right, let's take a look. I got filled on love. Wait a minute. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. All right. So gold was up. SPY was up. Oil was up. Cirrus was up. Everything's up. All right. So love and SPY. So SPY, I got filled for the overnight SPY trade at... $304.44, right where it's at. And then love, I got filled on love, which is Southwest Airlines, at $34.92. So good, got that one a little early, that's good. And that's it. So other than my SPY trade, just the one. A lot of things looked pretty good today. It was pretty hard to really decide between all of them, but Boeing was a little overextended. I liked the reason I picked Southwest was we had this higher low V2 on the weekly. At the same time, we went the under 50, over 50. And we had the bearish reversal bar on Friday and then right back up and closed over this little guy here and all the moving averages. So we shall see. We shall see tomorrow if that was the right move. And, interesting, Kamal, red-green on weekly and red-green on daily. Okay. Now, does anybody have any new entries and exits for me for the board? Kamal says, I kept Ultra, Twitter, and bought UAA. UAA you bought. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one too. And you got out of pets, right, Kamal? I got Kamal out of pets. That's good. I mean, they all looked pretty good today, except for that one. So let's get that weed out of the garden, right? Gosh dang it. Can't move that. All right. Evan said, took a position in Brew. Okay. I gotcha. $15.39. Gary said, I entered love at 34.92. Okay. David says, extremely patient. Travis, how do I sign up for the course? You know, Travis, if you want to sign up for the course, like I said, just send me an email. The email is in the description of this video, or you can send me a direct message on Twitter at Gossett Trading, and just send me an email or send me a Twitter message, and we'll find a time that works to do that Skype call, just to put a face to the face and talk a little bit. And it's a good time for you to ask me questions and for me to ask you questions. So that's how. Just send me an email or send me a message on Twitter. David says, taking it right now. Excellent first lesson. Oh, good. Glad to hear that. Thank you, David. All right. Gary is out of pets. I'm glad to see that. Gary says, enjoy the day, everyone. See you all tomorrow. Thank you, Gary. Frank says, I was out of BABA at Friday's open. Oh. I remember you telling me that. That's right. That's a lot better place to get out of it than today, for sure. Okay. I did pick up some Beyond Meat at 127.08. Wow, that's a perfect place to pick it up. Very nice. Thanks will do. Great, Travis. I look forward to it. Yep. All right. I remember you telling me that, Frank, getting out there. Boy, Cirrus, nice day today. Rallied hard into the close and did get the one profit target there. So nice for that. So yeah, everything was up. Gold is up. Overnight SPY trade was good. Cirrus, good. USO up nicely to start the week. And then the new one is Love. Southwest Airlines. So I have to go to physical therapy today with my shoulder. So it's the first time I will be going. So as soon as I get done with the podcast today, I'll head on over and see what they do. This should be interesting. All right, any other changes on the board? So I have Kamal with Upwork, which was up 1%. Good. Pets, we still have Frank in Pets. Caterpillar, Pinsky didn't want to get out because he likes cats, and good for him because it was up. Cat and dog, that's hilarious. Datadog down a little bit. Snap up 2 cents for Frank. CRM up a little bit for Glenn. Beyond Meat, Frank bought that. Boy, he nailed that one. Dexcom, Glenn, nice. Didn't see Glenn today, but that's up 4%. Frank down a little bit on TLT. MDB down a little bit for Kamal, but off of its lows. Oh, good. Kamal went positive on the NTNX. Glenn short went up 8% today, but he's still in the money nicely. Where am I? Glenn up nicely on Newmont Mining. Kamal, beautiful trade on Ultra. That was sweet. Twitter up a little bit. Good. UAA, Kamal's new entry here. And then Brew, which is craft brew for Evan. Yeah. Bullish engulfing bar. False breakout to the downside. V2 over 50. I like it. I do like it for sure. You know, when it comes to my positioning size, you know, the most important thing is to always, what is your maximum loss that you want to take on a trade, right? Let's say you have $100,000. Let's say you're risking 1%. So you're risking $1,000. So what I do is I take $1,000 and I divide it by the value of the two ATR. So I would take $1,000 if that's what I was risking, divided by 5.44, and it would tell me to buy 184 shares. And the reason I like using this 2 ATR for my position size so much is that it takes into account the size and moves. So the larger the moves, I'm still risking that $1,000, but if the moves are big and huge, then this number gets larger, and so the amount of my shares gets smaller. So that's really why, you know, for position sizing, I like to use the value of the 2 ATR. And on my YouTube channel, in the lesson section, the lesson videos, I have a lesson just about position sizing using the 2 ATRs. But I really, really like it. I really like it because it adjusts for volatility. Okay, Pets is out of there for everybody then. Okay. Oh, you picked it up after the downgrade. Now, who had earnings today? Micron did, right? Let's see if they're out with earnings. They are up 6%, so I would imagine that they are. Okay. So do I have everybody right on the board with their positions? Any other questions? You know, John, I told you about the video lessons there, John Brown, about the V1, V2s, but this is an example of a V1 right here on Apple. So see how this bar washed out the low of this previous bar? Here's this previous bar. See how this bar went below it, tested out tested it out below here, tested these levels below, but then closed up above this close. So a V1 is you take out the previous day's low by at least 1 ATR, and this was way more than 1 ATR, closed back above the close. So this is a V1 right here. And this is a V2. Here's the bar. See how we wash it out, but we didn't close above. So it could have been a V1, but it's not. But if this happens, then if the very next bar closes above the close, then you have a V2. So here's day one, day two washes out day one, day three closes above day one's close. I know that was really quick, but just to give you a little primer if you watch the video. Oh, Frank, you have SPY? Okay. Wow, that's the first time anybody's had SPY for a long time other than me. $302.52. Okay. I'm just going to put this in as this color for Frank. John says, what does a V stand for? Well, because it makes a V formation. It looks like a V. That's why. See how it's a V1? See how it makes this V formation? That's why. V for victory. That's true. Oh my gosh. Lulu. Was on the board. It was pretty good, and it's up 3.6%. Oh man. Shoot. Oh, well, that's how it goes. Wow. That was a good formation. I mean, it was pretty solid. It was a V1. Closed above 50. Darn. The only thing that kept me out of this here was the 1 ATR channel above. But it's above there now, so now it's support below. My favorite saying from Frank the other day, we were talking about Disney and we're talking about V1s, V2s. Frank said, I wouldn't buy Disney if there was a V8. I laughed about that like 3 times later that day. Okay, everybody, listen, I am going to head down to the physical therapist's office and have them work on my shoulder. This should be interesting. So thank you for coming today. Thank you, John, for coming, and Travis. for coming. I hope you come back. I really do. I hope you found it interesting and helpful. And so listen, before I let you go, two things. One, please try to go out and do something nice for somebody today. Just a hello, a smile, a wave. Just do something nice. Just be pleasant. We need a lot more of that in our world. And lastly, if you could remember to hit the thumbs up button before we get out of here, I would certainly appreciate that. So have a great day, Greg. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. And thank you all for coming by, and hope you have a good rest of your day. And yeah, we'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.